The method that I'm going to be teaching you, I've actually used it for myself, and I've used it, and with this method that I'm going to be explaining to you momentarily, I was able to drive a Lamborghini Huracan, BMW i8, brand new from the showroom, BMW M5, also from the showroom, Mercedes-Benz S550, Jaguar XJL, and a Maserati Ghibli. Alright everybody, hope you're God, because I'm God, and hope you're God, and hope we can all be God together. Welcome back to another video, and as you know, the title of this video is how to drive a supercar for free and how to drive a Lambo for free. And basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through my own experience and how I was able to drive a Lamborghini for free. I'm going to be teaching you guys the things that I did and the things that you can do to be driving one for free as well. Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be teaching you the things I did to be driving the Lamborghini for free. Now the thing is, I always wanted to drive a Lamborghini, but the problem was it's either very expensive to purchase, lease, or even if you want to rent one for a day, it's about $2,000 where I live, plus taxes and insurance. So for a young kid like me, it doesn't really make sense to spend that much money just for a day, even though I really wanted to drive the Lamborghini. So I decided to put a whole lesson together, or like a scenario together for myself, and the things that I would do so I can get to drive the Lamborghini for free. Alright guys, so the story starts where I decided that if I wanted to drive a Lamborghini for free, I would have to test drive one. But the problem is the car's so expensive that they never let you test drive one unless you've previously owned a Lamborghini, or you pull up with either a very expensive car, or you know someone that is a manager or an owner and they know that you're wealthy enough to purchase one. But since those things were not an option for me, I had to create my own scenario. So what I originally did, this is what I did, and I recommend you guys to do if you want to drive one, is in order to drive a Lamborghini, you first obviously need to go to the dealership, and you need to go to the new car dealership. The used car dealerships are going to be very hard to let you test drive one, so if you want to, you would have to make your way to the brand new dealership. Now the first thing you need to do is you need to go in the dealership, and you need to have a specific car in your mind that you want to drive. For me it was a Huracan, because I really do like the Huracan. And basically you don't want to be just going and asking to drive it. You want to ask them a specific question about a car. Hey, do you have this model Huracan? So what I did was I was asking them, do you have a 2016 610-4 yellow convertible? And basically, obviously, they did not have that car. But then at that point, the salesperson pulled up the records for what they had in stock. And usually with cars like that, you don't want to be going after the brand new cars. You want to be targeting the used cars, just because the brand new cars are inside the showroom. And to pull them out, that's quite hard. So what you want to be doing, you want to be seeing the cars that are outside in the lot and are easy to access to go out for a drive. Now, I would be targeting the ones that are less expensive, just because they're easier. So basically the salesperson, whoever's taking care of you in the dealership, what they want to know first is that they want to know that you're able to afford the car. Alright guys, so affordability of the car is very important, because they want to make sure that you're able to purchase this car and actually afford it. They don't want you to take out the car, just take it for a joyride, put mileage on this expensive supercar and bring it back, because everybody else was wanting to do that, right? So what you want to do is you want to make sure that they feel that you can actually purchase this car. So what you're going to do, I got two tips for you. So one is you got to be dressed nicely, and by that I don't mean you got to be wearing a suit necessarily, but as long as it's nice and clean, branded clothing, you know, that they can actually feel like you can afford this car. Secondly is, what I did was I went with somebody older. So you can either go with like your parents, your father, uncle, whoever is older. I would say 55 plus. When you go with someone like that, it gives them the confidence that you're not there to play around and you actually want to purchase the car. So then, because they feel that, you know, if you brought somebody older, you're actually spending your time and their time, and who wants to be just going around and taking a look at cars for no reason with an older person. So once you get over that, once you talk about the numbers with the salesperson and you agree that those are the numbers that you can afford, then at that point, you again straightly don't want to be going for a test drive. Then you want to be asking if you're able to see the car. Now that's what I did. So I asked them if I was able to see the car. The salesperson grabbed our keys, and we both went to see the car. Now, once we saw the car, I asked them questions. Again, this part is also very important. So at that point, I started asking them questions about, specs of the car. And one good thing is, if you know more than the salesperson, then they actually know that you've been looking for that car and you've been wanting to buy that car. Now, for instance, I'll give you an example. When I drove the Lamborghini, I knew more information about the Lamborghini than the salesperson did. So that gave them the confidence because they knew I've been looking at that car for some time. That's what I told them. And the question I asked was, does this one come with a sports exhaust system or it doesn't? And at that point, they were not sure. So I asked them, hey, is it possible to turn the car on and see if it will change between the modes? So that's what I did. I turned the car on, change it between the modes. And after, once I got the feel of changing the car, he told me not to rev it too much, which I listened. I didn't want to go against his words. After I turned it off and I said, listen, I like the car, everything's good, I just want to take it for a drive, see how it is and how does that work. And he said, I'm not sure, I have to speak with my manager. And I said, no problem, go speak with him. So going after all those steps, after he went, spoke with the manager, I required my driver's license. And it just happened to be that that car that I particularly drove was not in Canada. And I do live in Canada, that car was in the States, in California. And I told them, listen, I want to take it to Canada. And they said, okay, no problem. And therefore, they let me drive it. Now, going on the test drive, this is how you want to, again, be doing. You don't want to be ripping the car around because, again, you're going to be setting a very bad example. You're going to be maybe getting pulled over, telling them, switch. So what I told the guy, as he was getting in the car with me and driving, I told them, well, what they do in expensive cars, supercars or anything, they drive first. So then you get a feel for the car. They could teach you buttons a little bit. As soon as he got in the car, he started telling me one thing about the car, and I started finishing his sentence. And as soon as I finished his sentence, stopped talking about the car, I just kept driving. So at that point, he was very confident in me driving the car. So he wasn't really worried, or he didn't have to call anything in about it. Like I said, with this method, I was able to drive many different cars in different countries such as US and Canada. So I was able to drive the Lamborghini Huracan. I was able to drive the BMW i8, brand new. This one was off the showroom. Again, after I drove the Lamborghini, I got a lot of confidence, so I didn't really care to go for the used cars. I actually got them to pull it off from the showroom in front of me. Drove the BMW M5 brand new, the Jaguar XJ, the Maserati Ghibli SQ4. All these cars, I drove them brand new. Oh, the S-Class, S550, drove that one as well. So again, once I came up with this method, just followed it throughout, and it seemed to be working all the way for every single manufacturer. I mean, as the price comes lower, it is easier. That being said, some cars even in the BMW range are around 150, 160. We're in Canada, so that's Canadian dollars, so that's pretty expensive as well. So depending on where you go and what you drive, it could be pretty expensive. But then again, at the end of the day, what's going to be happening is that they got to trust you, and they actually got to feel that you're going to purchase this car. Once they feel, the salesperson and the manager, that you're serious about purchasing this car, and if they don't sell it to you then you're gonna buy another one from a different dealership, then they're gonna let you take it for a drive. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to be able to sell the car, and if they know that they can, they're gonna do anything in their power possible to sell the car. Hope you've enjoyed this video of my experience. Hope you find it useful and you can actually use it to test drive some of your favorite cars. I know it can be hard depending on how old you are, what situation you're in, to actually purchase these cars because they're very expensive. But I hope you can follow these steps. Give it a try. Let me know in the comments below if these steps worked for you, and how you went about it, or if they didn't, what part it did not work for you. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit that thumbs up for me, and hope to see you soon in the next video. Have a good one.